Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Hold no punches.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? Today is Thursday, March 19, 2026. Coming up, a Roland Martin Unfiltered, streaming live on the Black Star Network. U.S. Senate continues to debate the Republicans' shameful and despicable Save America Act. It is a trash bill. We'll take you live to the U.S. Senate floor. Newly released Bodycam video from the Texas case with a black woman who was pulled over and arrested when she threw the ticket out of the window, but she says the cop wrapped it on her. Well, they now have put it out. The Department of Justification for the arrest is now sparking community discussion. Young voters shocked everyone in 2024 by backing Donald Trump. I talked to the host of the Black Star Network's Other Side of Change about what Democrats should do to target young black voters. New York State Community Commission on Reparations Remedies was founded to examine the legacy of slavery and provide recommendations to address historical injustices in New York today. The chair will join us on the show. Yesterday, we talked about the case of Afroman, who, of course, was not found liable under the First Amendment. Well, guess what? He will join us on today's show. Many states have deregulated the hair braiding, but Louisiana lawmakers want to tighten regulations by demanding more coursework, including on the ancient origins of braiding. We'll talk to the black Democratic female state rep who is behind the bill. And the first black woman to lead the Harris County, Texas Democratic Party will join us as well to discuss the upcoming midterms. It's time to bring the funk on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Let's go.
He's got whatever the miss, he's on it. Whatever it is, he's got the scoop, the fact, the find. And when it breaks, he's right on time and it's rolling. Best believe he's knowing. Putting it down from sports to news to politics. With entertainment just for kicks, he's rolling. Yeah, it's Uncle Roro, y'all. Yeah, it's Roland Martin, yeah.
Folks, a live look at the United States Senate where they are debating the Republican Save America Act. They call the voter ID bill that is not what it is. On the floor now is one of 5 black United States senators and one of 2 black women in the Senate, Lisa Rochester Blunt of Delaware. Let's hear what she has to say.
You can't find your birth certificate or social security card. There is now a price tag on your access to the ballot. 69 million is the number of women who have changed their names. Not only will they have to provide proof of citizenship, but under this bill, they also would have to bring their marriage certificate to a voting booth or maybe a signed affidavit from a judge proving their name change. 4.5. 4.5 hours is the average amount of time a rural voter would have to drive round trip to prove they are a citizen and ensure that they can vote in the next election. My colleagues will have you believe that we don't believe IDs are important. That's not the case. It's just not true. Many states are already across the country. We have to use our IDs to vote. I took my driver's license with me when I voted recently in a local election. That's not the point of this bill. The point of this bill is trying to solve a problem that's not there. And in doing so, it moves the goalposts for people who want to vote. It will squeeze people out of the democratic process by finding ways to cost you money and cost you time if you want to vote. Bottom line, if this bill passes, our driver's license, real ID, tribal ID, college IDs for students, military IDs will no longer be enough. If this bill passes, you would have to mail in a photocopy of your proof of citizenship with your ballot, making it exponentially harder for Americans to vote by mail, not to mention undermining privacy. If you're married, if you are in a rural community, if you are a student on a college campus, if you are a person with a disability, if you are a senior, or if you have changed your name at any point in your life, like so many of us have, including myself, I was married, I was divorced, I was widowed. This bill won't save you, it will hurt you. But this is just one aspect of the current attack on voting rights. The second comes from across the street, where the Supreme Court has been chipping and chipping and chipping away at voting rights. The systematic weakening of our voter protections started decades ago, when the Supreme Court undermined the pre-clearance provisions of the Voting Rights Act, the VRA. Pre-clearance required jurisdictions with a historical record of racial discrimination in voting to clear any changes to their voting laws with the federal government. This was a backstop that protected access to the ballot box for many voters of color. Once it was struck down, some states began to take advantage, passing restrictive voting ID laws, restricting voter registration timeframes, reducing early voting, and more. In 2021, the Supreme Court made it harder to prove racially discriminatory voting practices under the VRA. And later this year, they will hear a case that would make it even harder for minority communities to sue states for discriminatory congressional maps. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the threat to our democracy that comes from the executive branch. Let me start from the beginning. Since January of 2025, the Trump administration has used DOGE to steal our personal information and data. They pulled information from Social Security Administration and the IRS. Why? Maybe to track the American people. Now the administration has turned their attention toward establishing an unsanctioned nationwide voter database. They also raided a Georgia voting center under false pretenses, undermined access to mail-in ballots by changing the rules around how mail is postmarked, and sued and threatened states like Minnesota over access to their voter files. All of this from a president that wants to, quote, take over the voting, quote, unquote, so that the GOP, quote, will never lose a race for 50 years, end quote. This is a coordinated and un-American campaign against the very core of who we are as a nation. And it's not something that I say lightly, but it's something that I believe must be said, especially as we approach the 250th anniversary of our country. In those 250 years, we have seen our democracy expand and contract multiple times. Our democracy expanded when my great-great-great-grandfather signed his name with that X and gained the right to vote. His descendant now stands in the Senate, a living reminder that our democracy has the ability to grow and change. But our democracy has contracted too. And we need to learn from that past if we're going to prevent further contraction in the future. Mr. President, I fear we're on the cusp of falling into a trap our ancestors sprung 100 years ago. You see, my great-great-great-grandfather earned the right to vote in Georgia with his signature, but it's unlikely that he was able to really exercise that newly won right for very long. Because from 1877 to 1901, while some Americans were enjoying the Gilded Age, Black Americans were living through a period known as the Great Nadir. If apex is the highest, the nadir is the lowest. Voter suppression, political violence, things that you see and feel even now. Many of the rights enumerated in the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, including the right to vote, were being eroded, washed away by partisan gerrymandering, poll taxes, grandfather clauses, Jim Crow laws, and even Supreme Court decisions. For decades, civil rights leaders fought not just to achieve new rights, but to reinstate the ones lost. Our democracy has expanded and contracted. The first Black Senator, Hiram Revels, was elected to Congress in 1870, and then Blanche Bruce. But it was 86 years between those two senators and 1967, when we had the next Black senator. 86 years. Right now, there are 5 of us. And this is the first time in our history where there are 2 Black women at the same time. If the Save America Act passes, we are on the verge of another contraction. The parallels with the Great Nadir are as stark as they are many. Once again, laws are being proposed to strip us from the access to the ballot box. Once again, the Supreme Court is postured to send us backwards rather than protecting the path forward. And once again, voting rights are under attack by the federal government. I look around this room and I know that we have a choice to make. Whether we'll allow partisan divides to enable the backsliding of our democracy, or if we're willing to stand shoulder to shoulder to protect the bedrock of our nation, the right to vote. So what can we do? First, we must block the Save America Act from advancing any further. As senators, we have a responsibility to call it as we see it and to conduct oversight and expose executive overreach. And that's what this bill is, executive overreach, that would undermine our right to vote across this country. As Democratic senators, we plan to stand in its path, and I hope that some of my Republican colleagues will join us. And to all of those watching at home, I want you to know there is strength in numbers, that your power lies in being educated and informed and organized and mobilizing. And in this moment, I stand here and say no to Jim Crow 2.0. I yield.
Chair recognizes Senator from Utah.
Mr. President, I appreciate the passion, the remarks provided by my friend and colleague, the distinguished senator from Delaware. I do feel the need to respond to a couple of things, and a couple of things that have said were said previous to that by the senator from Michigan. With regard to the senator from Delaware, there are a number of claims made that are very serious, and because they're very serious, they need to be responded to immediately. She used terms like poll tax, Jim Crow 2.0, talking about adding costs as if we're charging someone to be able to have ballot access, to be able to vote, which would be a poll tax. We ended that some 60 years ago by a constitutional amendment. This is not that. Not only are we not charging someone to vote, we're not charging someone to register to vote, nor are the documentary requirements in place, anything that would cost any individual any money at all. It need not cost them a single penny. Because even if you don't have every document that you need in order to establish citizenship, something that's already required by a whole host of other laws, most familiar to most Americans would be in the labor and employment context, where every time you start a new job as an American citizen in the United States as an employee, you have to fill out an I-9 form and you have to provide a very specific set of documents to establish citizenship. You may do so with a U.S. passport establishing citizenship. If you don't have a U.S. passport, you may do so with a birth certificate, together with a photo ID. A Social Security card can also come into play, but it's a fairly limited set. What we have established in this bill is far more flexible than that. We've added a bunch of other documents. We've tried to be as expansive and as inclusive as humanly possible in order to do that. And then we've provided a fail-safe that I have yet to hear any of my colleagues across the aisle refer to when making these very aggressive accusations that this is a poll tax, this is Jim Crow 2.0, that this is going to disenfranchise women or people of particular racial minorities. It's just not true. They're ignoring the existence of the provision that begins on line 22, page 12 of the bill, and continues on to the next page, which says that if for any reason, or no reason at all, you don't have the necessary documents, any of them or all of them, you have none of them, you can still handle this by an affidavit that you can write out, thus putting the burden on the state to confirm or refute the underlying facts establishing your citizenship, whether through citizenship through natural-born citizen status by virtue of the circumstances at your birth, at the time of your birth, making you a citizen, or the circumstances that led to your naturalization, if you're a naturalized citizen. That does not cost.
All right, y'all, so that's Utah Senator Mike Lee, Republican. But he's straight lying. Okay, I just want y'all to understand what you saw going on here. It's like, oh, no, well, you know, you can just do your own affidavit, okay? But what is that particular process as well? How does that go in? I mean, we could go on and on and on. We're like, well, no, there's no poll tax. If you say a person needs a birth certificate and they don't have one, they have to pay to get one. If a person needs a passport, they have to pay to get a passport. Now, he also lied by saying that, oh, when you get a job in this country, you have to do that. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been hired numerous times. I hire people. I don't require people to prove their citizenship. Now, there's a form you fill out and you check, are you a citizen? Y'all, I wanted y'all to hear that because I wanted you to hear how they are lying. And this is what they do in order to advance their interest. This is not a voter ID bill. And the ID is not the most heinous aspect of this bill. They want to take the voter rolls. That's what they want to do. They want the states to turn them over to the federal government. So let's just be real clear, really what their intent is. It is not a voter ID bill. It is absolutely a voter suppression bill. When Cooney Ciant, co-founder of Politicking out of Washington, D.C., joins us, Rebecca Carruthers, President, CEO of Fair Election Center out of D.C. as well. And so, Rebecca, I said Democrats made a mistake by falling into the voter ID trap. What they should have been emphasizing are the other shameful aspects of this bill.
Roland, you're exactly right. For the last 7 weeks, I've been all across the media, all across the press, talking about the SAVE Act. Also in the House, there was a bill called the MEGA Act, and now these things have converged. And so what's important for folks to understand is that there's about 9,000 voting jurisdictions across the country. Each of those voting jurisdictions are responsible for registering people to vote. The Constitution leaves it up to the states, and the states have the constitutional power to determine how elections are run, including who becomes eligible in order to register to vote. So right now, in order to register to vote, you have to prove that you are who you say that you are. If you're voting in federal elections, you have to prove already that you are that you are an American citizen. And there are some states, some localities, like for instance, Tacoma Park, Maryland, that allows residents of Tacoma Park, regardless of naturalization status, in order to vote. But that's pretty rare. The reason that I'm bringing this up is in most states now, because of federal law, if you have a state ID or you have a driver's license, you have it through real ID. If you have like a little star in your driver's license or your state ID, that means you have real ID. And you already have to do documentary proof of citizenship of who you are, whether you're naturalized, whether you are on papers, in order to get that type of ID. What this particular bill would do, there is no state, with the exception of Ohio, where you can actually use your state ID that already proves that you are who you are, that proves whether or not you're a citizen. You cannot use your driver's license or state ID in order to register to vote if this becomes law. So I want people to understand the reason why we're not just saying proof of citizenship is documentary proof of citizenship. Over 50% of Americans do not have a passport. That is roughly 180 million people in this country don't have a passport just off of the top. The second thing, there's at least 21 million Americans in this country who don't have readily access to a birth certificate. The other thing to note in this bill, when you register to vote, you have to have your documentary proof of citizenship. You have to have those particular documents. But the other part of this bill, when you go to vote, you have to bring documentary proof of citizenship again. So if states already can verify and determine who you are and determine your eligibility, that you are who you say you are in order to vote, then why are we having these additional burdensome steps? And so far, we're not hearing from the Republicans in the Senate and also Fetterman why this is necessary and why this is important. In fact, the Heritage Foundation has shown in the last 40 years that there's been less than 100 occurrences that they have found of non-Americans voting in American elections. So this is not an issue. The other thing to note, if you are a local election administrator, and if the SAVE Act passes, and say that you register someone to vote who's eligible to vote, but you don't get all the required documents, this bill will now criminalize that, where those election administrators can go to jail. They could pay a civil fine if they don't grab all of these documents. I could go on and on. Another thing to note is that if you are a college student, there are many states that allow you to use your college ID in order to register to vote. This bill will eliminate that.
But here's the thing when Cooney, that jumps out at me. Again, I'm going to remove the whole ID away from the conversation. This bill wants to get rid of mail-in voting.
And that's the
that right there is the key. They want to get rid of all mail-in voting. And they excuse all if you have a very, if you're sick, there's like two or three different things there. You got some states that their entire elections are mail-in voting.
And that's what we were talking about last week, Roland. We were talking about Utah, a lot of the Midwest, a lot of the Western states, they subscribe almost wholly to mail-in voting. So this is just another form of voter disenfranchisement. Rebecca hit the nail on the head. This is duplicative. It already is in place, systems that work. It disenfranchised voters, particularly Black and brown voters. We know all of this, right? This is another game that the Republicans are playing, unfortunately. And it's really sad that we are literally having to fight for our rights to vote when Black and brown people have continually had to fight for their rights to vote. But, getting rid of mail-in voting when we just went through a pandemic crisis 4 or 5 years ago, it sounds diabolical, Roland.
Again, that's what they're doing. So the debate continues. They don't have the 60 votes, and so we'll see what happens next. All right, folks, let's talk about New York State, where Governor Kathy Hochul created the New York State Community Commission on Reparations Remedies in 2023 to examine the legacy of slavery and systemic racism in the state and to provide recommendations for addressing these historical injustices. Dr. Cnell Hawkins, the chair of the commission, joins us right now to discuss this. Glad to have you on the show. So first and foremost, as it relates to this commission, how have you met? Work has been done, and what progress have you made?
Thank you for having us on. First of all, this commission has been active since 2004. Governor Hochul signed the bill in December 2023, and we became active in 2024. We've had a slow start because we had to go through some processes just to staff up. But over the last year, we've had over 15 public hearings. The most important part of this commission is that we're the community commission. And so our role is to look at slavery, examine the harms of slavery, and listen to the community and put together a research paper, a documented research paper that is going to be delivered to the governor and the legislative body that's going to make recommendations to redress those harms. And so the work is putting together the report, and that report is due to the legislative body in January of 2027. And we have been going around the state hearing what redress looks like.
So you started in 2024, and your deadline for the report is 2027. So that's 3 years.
It was a slow start. So we actually asked for an 18-month extension because we didn't have staff. All of the 9 commissioners, first of all, I want to thank Governor Hochul and our senators, Senator Sanders and our Assembly Member Szilagyi as a co-sponsor of the bill. But there are 9 commissioners and we're volunteers, and we had a $5 million budget to put together the staff to help us do the research and put together this report of recommendations to the state. And so we've been going around the state. We've been all over the economic areas in New York State to hear from the community members. So we've been in Brooklyn. In fact, on Saturday, the 21st, we will be in Staten Island at the Staten Island Urban Center on Bay Street, 206 Bay Street, from 12 to 4 p.m. So we invite the community to learn about this process, to understand what redress is, and understand the harms of New York and what processes should New York State take to redress these problems. So we're looking at the economic harms, the health inequities. When we think about redlining, all of these harms certainly impact New Yorkers. And so we want to hear from New Yorkers. And we've been hearing that, one, Black New Yorkers certainly want to check. They want to check, but they also want to see a strong process of policy changes. So it goes way beyond a check. When people think about reparations, that's the first thing you think of, is a check. But it's certainly more than that. So it's policy changing so that we can see the actual process of redress. And that's what's going to be important. There needs to be a reparative process to the harms that we've seen since slavery. And many don't even know that there was an active slave trade in 1711 right on Wall Street in New York City. Many people think it happened in the North, but New York State had an active role in slavery. And at the public hearings, we've been learning about how this is systemic across New York State. Whether you were in Ithaca or Utica or Rochester or Buffalo, the same harms have been happening around the state. And now is a chance for New Yorkers to reimagine what change could look like. So here's some hope for us. And here's a process that these 9 commissioners, and I'm honored to chair this commission, but we are working hard to put together a research-based report along with analysts and economists and historians to make sure that New Yorkers have a well-thought research process for reparations.
Folks, if you go to nypl.org, go to my iPad, Henry, you'll see where it lays out there this piece on New York City's slave market that was posted then. Questions from my panel. Winkuni, you first.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for being here, and the work that you all are doing is incredible. If New York gets this right, how could this serve as a model for other states or even the federal government?
Well, New York, we plan to get it right because the 9 of us are working hard to do it. But we're not the only state to do this. I want to say that California has done this, and certainly Illinois and Evanston. They've already given out reparations in Evanston, but New York gets to serve as the model for other states to follow. New York is where it happens, and New York is the representation of what's next. So we're looking forward to continuing to do this process and our report. We want to champion these reports so these recommendations can actually come to fruition and other states can follow. So we are the lead.
Rebecca?
Dr. Hawkins, so I think it's great that the state that houses the financial center in this country is taking the lead on this issue. Correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't New York have a history of allowing for reparations for historically wronged people?
New York doesn't have a history of it, but certainly there are other bodies that, so when you think about Native Americans, there have been reparations, Japanese, there have been reparations. There's a long history of reparations. Jewish communities have received reparations. So this is New York's effort at reparations. And we know nationally, there has been a national effort for reparations. There are many groups working on reparations. And as you know, in Congress, there have been many efforts since Representative John Conyers Jr. and the late Sheila Jackson Lee been trying to get reparations federally. But New York State is leading the work right now, and we want to see it happen. And so New Yorkers are lending their voice at public hearings. They're going to our website, and if people want to learn more, they can go to our website at newyork.gov/reparations. They can look at our past hearings, learn more about the work that they're doing, and get involved. This is an opportunity to us to reimagine what the pathway could be for New Yorkers. To create a real process for change. When we talk about inequities, and I'm listening, and we're talking about Jim Crow 2.0, this is our work. This is our opportunity to create some change, to reimagine, to actually develop a process for hope and change. And so we want to hear from New Yorkers. We want them to get involved. And we've heard from many New Yorkers so far, and we're still doing this work. We plan to have public hearings through June of 2026, and then we'll be delivering our report. We plan to have a draft report to the legislative body in December of 2026, and then the final report in January of 2027. And we want the community to champion those recommendations for redress.
All right. We certainly appreciate it, Dr. Hawkins. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me. And go to the website, ny.gov/reparations. New Yorkers, let's show everyone how to create a process for remedies.
All right. Thank you so very much. Folks, as we come back from this break, we're going to talk about a bill being advanced to tighten braiding requirements in Louisiana. You're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Be sure to support the work that we do. Join our Braiding the Funk fan club. If you want to contribute, do so via Cash App. It's a striped QR code. You see it right here. This is also for credit cards. Checks and money orders. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003 7-0196. PayPal's R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo RM Unfiltered. Zelle Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. We'll be right back.
With medicine and science under attack, I want to keep you and your family informed and healthy. I'm Dr. Ebony Hilton, and I knew at the age of 8 that I wanted to be a doctor. So I studied hard and became the first African-American female anesthesiologist hired at the Medical University of South Carolina since its opening in 1824. And I always say I was made into a doctor, but I was born to be a mom. And as a new mom, wife, sister, daughter, and friend, I understand how frightening a medical crisis can be. I care for individuals on some of the worst days of their lives, and it's my mission to provide you with a safe space to gain clarity on issues affecting your mind, body, and soul. I recognize that there are health disparities, particularly as it pertains to race, and I want to help bridge the gap between you and your healthcare providers. Join me every Thursday for Second Opinion on the Black Star Network, where each week I'll invite experts from various medical fields to share the latest health news. We'll discuss topics such as the vaccine debate, mental and sexual health, medical bias, infertility, menopause, andropause, nutrition, and aging. Together with my medical colleagues, we aim to provide you with a second opinion. Don't miss it, Thursdays only on the Black Star Network.
Hey y'all, welcome to The Other Side of Change, only on the Black Star Network and hosted by myself, Rhea Baker, and my good sis, Jamira Burley. We are just two millennial women tackling everything at the intersection of politics, gender, and pop culture.
And we don't just settle for commentary. This is about solution-driven dialogue to get us to the world as it could be and not just as it is.
Watch us on the Black Star Network, so tune in to The Other Side of Change.
On a next, A Balanced Life with me, Dr. Jackie, a relationship that we have to have. We're often afraid of it and don't like to talk about it. That's right, we're talking about our relationship with money. And here's the thing, our relationship with money oftentimes determines whether we have it or not? Balancing your relationship with your pocketbook. That's next on A Balanced Life with me, Dr. Jackie, here at Black Star Network.
I'm Ryan Wilson, CEO and co-founder of The Gathering Spot, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
All right, folks, let's talk about a bill out of Louisiana where they are considering implementing one of the strictest licensing requirements for hair braiding in America. Currently, the state's cosmetology board mandates a minimum of 500 hours of training to obtain an alternative hair design permit. However, Democratic State Representative Candace Newell has proposed House Bill 912, which would increase this requirement to at least 600 hours at a registered cosmetology school over a period of 3.5 months. The training outlined in the bill must include the study of the ancient origins of braiding, various multicultural braid styles, and proper braiding and sanitation techniques. After completing the training, applicants must pass an examination and pay an annual fee. Representative Newell joins us right now. I'm glad to have you here. First and foremost, why go from 500 to 600? What does that extra 100 hours do?
Good evening. Thank you for having me. It's Candace Newell.
Okay.
The 600 hours is to allow for the students to be able to apply for federal financial assistance. Because right now with 500, it's an out-of-pocket expense to the students. So the additional is of 100 hours is to allow for them to get financial aid.
Okay, and so this bill applies to anybody that does braiding in the state?
It's for anyone who does braiding in the state and wants to open up their own salon or eventually go back and teach the art of braiding.
Okay, so have folks been clamoring for this? What was your rationale for proposing this bill to add new requirements?
Well, right now we do allow for people to work with a permit under a licensed cosmetologist, and there's no restrictions on anyone that does hair in their home. We wanted to expand this because, of course, we know that this is a growing business, and to give the women who want to open up a shop and hold themselves out to the public to ensure that the services that they're offering, the public is safe and that they are also educated and protected in the manner. And again, offering also the opportunity for these men and women to eventually teach if they no longer want to just do the styles themselves, but want to teach it to the next generation.
So, so in terms of applicants who must pass an examination and pay an annual fee, is that for shop owners or for anyone if they're even working in a shop?
That's for anyone who holds the license, who will hold the license, not the permit. The permitting, they go in, take the tests, get the permit, they work under the license. The person who has the license, just like with the other cosmetologists, they go in for their yearly education requirements and they pay to renew their license.
All right.
Just like I do have to do every year as an attorney.
Questions from my panel. Wincuni, you first.
Thanks for being here, Representative Newell. Wouldn't this just push more hair braiding into homes and push the cost of hair braiding in shops up?
I wouldn't see that as pushing it more or causing the cost to go up. We just want to ensure that the ladies who are doing it, if they in their homes, if they want to open a shop legally in Louisiana, there's a pathway for them to do so. They have to go through the entire 1,500-hour cosmetology of learning, washing, relaxing, coloring, manicures, pedicures, facials, not having to learn all of that. You go in, learn the basics about your braiding, 600 hours, you open your shop, and then you can open up the opportunity for young ladies that have a permit to come in your shop. Or like I said, if you want to retire from working and go in and teaching, you have the avenue to also get the teaching license. But I don't see it as causing the costs to rise and pushing more people into the home. I see it as an opportunity for you to leave your home if you want to encourage or attract more clientele.
Rebecca.
I would say I have mixed thoughts about this. I'm someone love getting my hair done. I've had all sorts of protective styles, including hair braiding. I've had good hair braiders, hair braiders I'll never go back to again. So I understand the importance of having basic training and hygiene, especially with dealing with the public. My concern is that as a Black person, I've learned how to hair braid when I was like 5 or 6 years old. And so we hear, do hair braiding. Like those are things that are cultural and it's cultural touch points, but it's also an economic benefit. So my concern is how do you balance the need to make sure that the public is safe, but also balance the needs of how this could really be an economic leg up, especially for Black women.
And that's what everything you said is exactly why I agreed to move forward with this legislation. I've had that have been horrible in my hair. I've had friends who've had horrible experiences with growth of bacteria in their hair. Another friend of mine, she had a mold that grew under the braids once she got the sew-in. So it was those experiences that moved me towards maybe if you're in a shop, you should have some type of education, some type of training. Because just because we know how to braid our sisters, our cousins, our own hair, does not mean that we're ready to go out and braid for the public. Also, allowing for you to get the license, again, opens opportunity for that person with the license to allow other people who might not have the license, aren't ready for the license, have the permit to come in the shop. And now you have more people in the shop, more people earning money, more people providing services to that community. And also maybe going back into the schools as a way to teach and pass on this knowledge and the training to the next group of young ladies, young men who want to go and braid. And not just braid, any type of protective styles.
All right,
Thank you.
All right. Well, we certainly appreciate you joining us, and we'll see how this bill progresses.
Thank you. This was a good start for what I'm going to hear from my colleagues who don't look like us and don't understand the process, because these are the questions that we normally hear in committee when it's surrounding this braiding.
All right. Thanks a lot.
So thank y'all
Appreciate
for preparing me.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much. And for folks out there, you may have heard we said alternative hair. Alternative hair design is defined as twisting, wrapping, weaving, extending, locking, or braiding the hair at salons or shops. It includes applying products such as shampoos, conditioners, oils, and lotions. It also covers the use of synthetic hair, wigs, or other applied hair. All right, folks. I'm gonna do this real quick here. So we have made clear how narcissistic Donald Trump is, how shameful and pathetic he is. And here's the United States celebrating a 250-year anniversary this year. So what did this arrogant fool do? What he always does, he always wants to put himself front and center. And so what Donald Trump has done is he has this arts commission. So they decided to say, hey, what if we put Trump on a coin? Now, y'all, that's normally reserved for folks who are deceased or not even in office. But see, when you're so arrogant, when you're so narcissistic, when you are a pathetic individual like himself, such as putting his name on the Kennedy Center, such as hanging these massive banners down from government buildings. Well, here's the latest. So his hand-picked arts commission, they now prove this gold coin. Oh, no shock, it's gold. So this is what it will look like. It will be this coin here of this idiot, and with this menacing look. And so it was a unanimous vote, no shock, 24 karat commemorative 24-karat gold coin bearing his image. This is from the U.S. Commission on Fine Arts. And so, now check this out. According to the New York Times story, it says the administration's move to mint official coins with Trump's face is also legally aggressive. An 1866 law called the Thayer Amendment says, quote, only the portrait of a deceased individual may appear on United States currency and securities. But they're saying that, oh no, this is not really currency or security, it's a commemorative coin. And so Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, they're saying that, oh, it allows for the minting of gold coins with specifications, designs, varieties, quantities, denominations, and inscriptions as the Secretary and the Secretary's discretion may prescribe from time to time. This is all about his ego, Rebecca, pure and simple. And MAGA is so stupid that, oh, if this was Obama, if this was Biden, this was Clinton, they would be throwing up, losing their minds. Sean Hannity would be foaming at the mouth, Laura Ingraham. But Trump is like, oh, great, let's pass them around like M&Ms.
Like a collector's card. Like, Roland, if you put that picture up, it looks so dumb. It looks like his administration is trolling him. That is not a flattering picture of him that they're going to put on the coin. Like, look at that. That's not flattering. That doesn't show strength. That's an ill-fitting suit. And he looks crazy. Like, I don't get it. The other thing is, if they're claiming to put gold, we know gold is real expensive right now. They're not going to put real gold. They're going to go down to the Home Depot again and use that fake gold stuff that they have inside the Oval Office. Look, as soon as this man leaves the White House, or however the ancestors decide that he leaves, the bottom line is we're going to have to fumigate out the White House literally and fumigate out this government figuratively, because this is just ridiculous.
Cody?
Fumigate was a good word, Rebecca. I mean, like you said, Roland, he's a narcissist. I think the challenging part about this is what's scary is this is exactly how he won the presidency. If you think about Donald Trump is someone who has successfully used the media, has successfully used the cycle to continue to say his name, right? You think about the Donald Trump show, you think about his real estate ventures, all of which bear his name, bear his likeness, bear his face, bear his image, right? He has been able to use that to successfully catapult himself into the highest office in the United States of America. And so what's scary to me is that he's continuing to do this. He continues to champion himself in this way. And unbeknownst to the rest of the world, it has worked. It's worked, right? So for me, I'm scared of Donald Trump being able to put his name, his face, his likeness on one more thing, because that's what he did, right? We see Donald Trump had been angling for the presidency for years. He tried to run as a Democrat, it didn't work. He tried to run as an independent, it didn't work. But all time and time again, he kept getting on reality TV show. He kept building buildings and putting his name on it. This is just another example at his classic narcissism, another example of how he feeds his ego. But honestly, at this point, it's gotten to a tipping point, right? We have now, well, I can't say we've elected him, but the American people have elected him to the highest office and power. And so my fear is that putting his name and face and likeness on yet another piece of memorabilia only continues to push into the Donald Trump lore. And that's something that we need to dismember as quickly and swiftly as possible.
All right, folks, hold tight 1 second. He got a big win yesterday in his defamation case in Ohio. Afroman will join us next right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
A decade of love, joy, and power. Black Voters Matter is 10 years old, and we are just getting started. This is love with a purpose. This is Black joy in motion. This is unstoppable power. Across campuses, neighborhoods, and back roads, let's go! We show up not just to vote, but to be seen, to be heard, to belong. We ride together, we organize together. We remind each other that our voices matter, because they always have. Black Voters Matter is about more than ballots. It's about housing and healthcare, clean water and living wages, education, reproductive freedom, and dignity. It's about turning pain into action, turning belief into movement, turning community into power. We don't wait to be invited. We bring the energy. We bring the love. We bring the people. Because when Black communities come together, we don't just survive, we thrive. This is how change happens. This is how history moves. We organize, we build, we win.
My name is Bill Duke, and you're watching Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Folks, there was so much happening in the Afroman trial, we had to go ahead and go for a second day. For those who don't know, 7 white sheriff's deputies from Adams County, Ohio, sued Afroman, whose legal name is Joseph Foreman, for using footage from his own security cameras in music parody videos. The footage was recorded during a 2022 raid of his home. During the raid, the deputies broke down Afroman's front gate, forced open his front door while searching for narcotics. However, no drugs were found and no charges were ever filed against him. Well, yesterday, a jury ruled in Afroman's favor, concluding that he did not defame the deputies or invade their privacy. This was pretty funny. Here's just a little of the closing arguments of the both attorneys. I'm just going to play a little bit of each one, and then we're going to go to the interview. Go ahead.
When this trial started, I told you it was about intentional lies that are designed to hurt people.
Come to All right, y'all. Not sure what's going on with the audio there. But joining us right now is the victor in this case, Afroman himself. Glad to have you right here on Roland Martin Unfiltered. So you had these folks up there crying on the witness stand. You had one cop saying that your video caused so much distress in his marriage that's why his wife left him. Then we later find out that she got a restraining order against him. They were crying, being called pound cake man, being called hunchback. And so, I mean, obviously they were trying to sue you. They wanted to beat you out of some money. So first, how do you feel after the victory?
Victorious, and happy and grateful. Grateful to God that he didn't let them run through my pockets. I watched them cops beat up Rodney King, and I watched him get off. So even, right and wrong ain't got nothing to do with it. I just knew it could happen, and I'm glad God didn't let it happen this time.
So it was, I mean, obviously, you made these parody videos, so let's take it back. So they busted to the gate, bust down the door, they're coming through your house, no charges are filed. The damage to your house, who had to pay for that?
Me.
So they damage your gate, they damage your door, going through your house, no charges filed, and they claim narcotics. Like, where did that even come from? What, they had some criminal informant who gave them some inside information?
Yeah, they busted this girl. I don't know, from what they say, some girl had some drugs and something, and she wanted to reduce her sentence and get out or something. So she just starts making up lies on me. You would figure she'd make up a believable lie, but she made up an unbelievable lie. I mean, she told him that I had a dungeon and I had kidnapping victims, and I don't have a dungeon or a basement or a kidnapping victim. So anyway, I guess she just wanted to get released. So she just made up this story about me. They let her go, and they came over here looking for whatever they was looking for. And
So wait, she made these things up, and they believed her? Like, there was no effort at an investigation, and they roll up guns blazing, believing that?
Yes, and if you go look at the videos I put out, like Lick 'em Low Lisa, if you go look at Brian Newland is a flag, um, I have her in the end of those videos. She's saying things about the same officers that did the raid on her word on me. Like, you can go watch it, and it's just funny. And I doubt an investigation be opened up. Like, they're not gonna run people on them like they ran them on me based on her words.
Now they sued you. Are you gonna sue her?
I'm gonna talk. It ain't over. It ain't over. I'm gonna talk and
Go ahead.
I'm gonna talk and see what I'm gonna do. Right now, I'm just happy that I didn't have to pay no money and I can keep singing my songs. I'm happy about that right now.
So when did you drop the videos? Was it after the charges were dropped, or and what was that process where you sat here and said, "Man, I need to get their ass back. Let me figure out how I can do this." Walk me through that.
Okay. I was 65 miles away from home when I got the call that the police were at my house. I pulled into a gas station and got me a Mountain Dew, and I just sat there looking at my phone.
Now hold up. When you say look at your phone, so you were looking at you were looking at your security cameras. You're watching them go through your house.
Yeah. I was at a speedway with a Mountain Dew big gulp, like, well, thank you, Lord. I'm out the way. I'm all right. And I'm looking at them just go through my house and,
So first of all, how did they get in? Wait a minute, hold up. I'm confused. They roll up with a no-knock warrant?
Yeah, they kicked on the door. They was unsuccessful kicking in it's the first time I seen cops unsuccessfully kick a door. They couldn't get my front door open. So they grabbed a battering ram out of the car and they came through my side doors, which is more work because I got 2 doors on my side door. They could have just knocked down one and been in the house. But, they came through my side doors and they used a battering ram and they kicked in 2 doors instead of 1, doing even more damage.
See, this is not even crazy. It's even crazier to me
That's the second.
Go ahead. That's the second. Go ahead.
That's the second door they kicked in. I just seen you showing it. Yeah.
So they got cats in fatigues, assault weapons. So a woman tells them, "Oh man, he got drugs. He got a dungeon. He holding people hostage." And they rolling up with the SWAT team. So
yeah, it's that same thing you see on the internet. Somebody had just started. They'll be on. Sometimes the guy will film the person that's on the phone, and the person to be on the phone exaggerating.
It's like swatting.
Now,
it's like swatting.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's called swatting.
Okay. This chick, she get busted with whatever she doing, and she want to get out of it. So she just, I'm Afroman. I sing about smoking weed. Everybody, I notice how everybody think I got like just tons of weed just because I sing about it.
No. That only happens if you're a University of Alabama basketball player, and you got bags of weed around the house. 2.1 pounds, which is 1 ounce under the actual law. But go right ahead.
Yeah, but like I notice how I just notice in life people think I got more weed than what I do, and so like they came up here thinking I got kidnapped victims, hog-tied and all kind of madness. So anyway, They searched my house. They didn't find nothing. So my ex-wife was on FaceTime with Sergeant Randy Walters. That's the guy with the Full Metal Jacket helmet and the battle shield. I asked Randy Walters, I said, "Am I under arrest?" He said no. I asked him, are there any charges going to be filed? He said no. After that, I asked him if he had helped me put my door back on the hinges. And that's when he cracked this little sarcastic grin. He kind of waddled his head from side to side, and he said, we're not required to do that. And right then, I said, thank you, sir. And I didn't want to look at him no more on the FaceTime. I wanted me and his conversation to end. And I didn't want to talk no shit to him or nothing. I'm sorry. I didn't want to say nothing bad to him or whatever.
First of all, we used to cuss on this show. That's why it's called Unfiltered. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Trust me.
Right.
Normally, Reese Cobra is with us on Thursdays, and if Reese don't say the F word 20 times, then she must be sick. So we used to it. But so,
okay, I can talk.
So when you sitting there watching this video, and that's when you went, I'm gonna light their ass up.
I didn't know what I was gonna do, but I knew I wanted to do something.
Okay, so all of a sudden, you drop a video, then you like,
yeah,
I'm gonna do another one. So how many total videos did you do?
I think I did about, let's see, Pound Cake, Why You Disconnecting My Camera. I think I did another, Will You Help Me? Will You Help Me Repair My Gate? Will You Help Me Repair My Gate, Lemon Pound Cake, and Disconnecting My Camera. I think I did 3 videos. And I might have did another. I did I'ma Have a Good Time.
So you did the first.
I did 4 videos.
You did the first one. You went, now let's do another one. And then the second one, you went.
No. I thought about everything I was mad about. I wanted to milk the situation so I could capitalize on it.
Right.
So I wrote down everything that made me mad, and I was gonna try to make as many songs as possible. The more songs I got, the more money I can possibly make. So. I got the guy, everybody was, the TikTok clip was going famous. The TikTok clip of the guy looking at the pound cake was going famous.
Right.
So I wanted to write a song about him looking at the pound cake. So then I was mad about them disconnecting my cameras. So I wanted to make a song about them disconnecting my cameras. I was mad about them tearing down my door and my gate. So I wrote a song about them tearing down my door and my gate. Then I wanted to be a sport. I wanted to show my family, friends, and peers and my fans how to be happy in a good time, how to make your problems turn into your solutions, how not to be a crybaby. And I wrote a song called I'ma Have a Good Time. And it's like, I'ma have a good time even though times are bad. I'ma be happy even though the world is sad. And I was rapping about, how I was gonna come back from the destruction that the Adams County Sheriff brought to my house. I want you to check out that video and all the other ones, but that one is good mental health music.
Oh, listen, it was so hilarious because the Adams County Sheriff's Department in Colorado put out their own video saying, hey, can y'all stop calling us, DMing us, and texting us? It wasn't us. Everybody was getting in on this. But I gotta ask you, when Pola Lisa was testifying, Lord, she was crying, she was shedding tears. What were you thinking sitting in the courtroom watching her up there try to get her Emmy or her Academy Award?
I was thinking, where was those tears when her finger was around that AR-15 ready to shoot me in my ass? I was thinking, where was them tears when she was disconnecting my camera so Brian Newland could steal my money? I was wondering, where was them tears, you know what I'm saying, when she was looking at me condescending and wouldn't speak back, when I dropped my kids off at school. I look at her, open to, speak to everybody else. But, when I pull up with my kids, she gave me this, she had this look on her face like she smelled feces when she'd look at me, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I spoke to her one time when I went in the courthouse, and she said something back to me. It made me jump, man. I didn't even believe that voice came out of her throat. And I'm not mad at her. her punishment is she got to hear this song for the rest of her life.
Well, and the crazy part
I don't
is,
want her to go. I don't want to go. I don't want her to go to hell. I don't want her to die. I don't want her to get her ass kicked. She just got to hear this song.
As they say, as I always say, hashtag team whip that ass. The thing that got me was by them suing you, they actually made this bigger. Like I had no idea this went down.
Watch this, brother Roland. Now, I don't know. You know, most of us brothers and sisters, we come from the ghetto, the hood, and one thing I know we learned in the ghetto: don't cry, because that's gonna make it worse. We learned that as little kids. Like, don't let the other little kids know that hurt your feelings, because then they're gonna really pick on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But these people ain't learned that lesson. So they grown-ass people that don't know that lesson. They don't know. Be quiet and it won't be no big deal. So they don't realize when I went viral when I got raided. They fault. Then I went viral again when they sued me. They fault. They could have settled with me, paid me, or just went away. Then I went viral again when we went to trial. And then during the trial, they played all the videos that I made fun of their ass with. Then it streamed worldwide. I can't even keep up with my numbers. Man, I'm looking at numbers just switch right in front of my face. I ain't never seen it go down like that. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't learn that little ghetto lesson we learned. Don't cry. They gonna pick on you. But they supposed to have thick skin. They police officers.
Right.
And they was wrong. Rather than eating humble pie and say, I'm sorry, they messed up and then tried to blame me for their mistake and they threw a brat tantrum. And they didn't realize they was messing up. Now, when you go in the wrong direction, you need to turn around as soon as possible. Because if you keep going the wrong direction, it's just going to be a long way back.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what they needed to do was nip it in the bud and say, look, brother, I'm sorry. We'll talk about it. We'll get something worked out. I didn't even want to write a song until that dude laughed about knocking my door down. You know, because I'm a brother. I get pulled over all the time. You know, I ain't no crybaby. I understand that, you know, some other brother's doing wrong. He might think I'm one of them kind of brothers, and he got to realize I ain't. And all right, yes, sir, whatever. You know, but I just didn't like his attitude after he realized I was a good dude. You know?
And when he did that, with that little smirk, that's when you went, see, now you done pissed me off.
You know what? I'm not mad at people for doing wrong. I'm mad at people for not apologizing and not trying to make it right. They got erasers on the end of pencils. You know, all you got to, that's for a reason. We all make mistakes.
Right.
When you refuse to make it right, that's the part that make me mad.
And now what they've done is, because of the trial, they've given you even more fodder for more videos. But I got to play this one here because I need to know what your reaction was when this happened during the trial. I was in tears yesterday when your lawyer, you already know what I'm about to play, when your lawyer asked these questions.
You've worked with kids for
30 years.
Got into the mind of kids pretty well.
Yes.
When they would play Mr. Foreman's song Lemon Pound Cake, did they take that as a literal fact from your observations?
No.
Were they laughing and joking about it?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Are you familiar with the song WAP?
I think I've heard it.
Strike that. I'm going to give you the complete song and then summarize it because I only want to say it once. Are you familiar with the song Wet Ass Pussy?
Yes.
Is that a rap song?
It is.
Has your students played it in class?
Once, and I asked them to please turn it off.
When they were listening to it, did they think that was fact?
No.
So they didn't think that that was depicting anything in real life?
No.
So you didn't have to teach him that wasn't real?
Right. No, I did not.
You've heard the song, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you believe it's a literal interpretation?
No.
Would you agree it's derogatory towards women?
No.
Even though it says nasty things about them?
Yeah. No. I mean, it's the artist's opinion, I guess. That's the way I feel.
Maybe not an opinion you like, but...
Yeah.
So, Ms. Grooms, has Mr. Foreman's posts about Sean or any of the general posts about the Adams County Sheriff's Department as a whole affected your life any at all?
No.
Would you believe it would have affected your life while you were married to Sean?
If it had any effect, I guess that would be the time it would have an effect.
But as his spouse, you would have expected.
Yes.
And I don't want you to go into too many details, but is it fair to say that Mr. Foreman and the posts about the police department and everything had not a damn thing to do with your relationship between you and Sean? And
No.
came to an end?
No, it did not.
So,
Well, it's the artist's opinion if they have WAP. I just sat there. Oh my! So you're sitting in court. I know you trying hard not to bust out laughing in front of that jury.
I tried, man. You know, so a couple of times I just put my head over my mouth. You know, I didn't laugh. Like, I love laughing. I don't like when you can't laugh. Because, you know, my whole life, you know, I love to laugh, even in bad times. So, I didn't know how people, I laugh, though. Sometimes I laugh, though. You know, if it was funny, I laugh.
All right.
I didn't get ridiculous.
Okay, before I go to my panel, the suit that you got on, do you normally wear that? Or would you say, hey, this is a First Amendment trial. I'm going to pull a Larry Flint and break out an American flag suit?
You know, to be honest with you, I'm a theme man. I love dressing for the occasion. However, I hate to admit this is working, bro. I might have to get me about 10, 20 more of these.
Man, listen, you had the suit, you had the tie, you got the shades. I know you got the socks to match. I know you coordinated.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, hey, I'm working on the socks, man. Give me a minute.
I was sure you had the socks. And then I'm trying to find the video. I'm trying to find the video. When you walked in court, that damn white ass fur, it took me back because, the Michael Irvin remember Michael Irvin got busted for drugs?
I don't.
Okay, Michael Irvin played for the Cowboys. He was in a hotel room.
Yeah, I know him. He's from Miami. That's my man.
All right, well, when he got busted, he got busted for drugs in a hotel room. Well, I broke that story. And Michael came to the grand jury in a black mink coat and some shades walking down. When I saw you with that damn white mink coat coming to the courtroom, that's the first thing I thought about. And I was like, no, he is not strolling in here with that white coat. And that.
Man, I didn't know that. I forgot they had it. It was cold outside. It was real cold.
Oh, I found it.
They call it April.
Here it is.
Y'all got to send me a clip of that.
You strolled in with that. Oh my God, let me see. Let me go to my panel for questions. Win Cooney, you get the first question for Afroman.
Afroman, you're a legend. You're a legend. I wanted to know what happened to that $400 that you said that they stole from you, because you said there was $400 missing after the raid. Did we ever find out what happened to that $400?
I still ain't got it, baby. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. They still owe me $400 to this day, and I'm gonna stay on them. I'm on them, but they owe me $400. So I'm gonna get it. I ain't forgot about nothing. Yeah,
that's right.
Rebecca.
So, Afroman, you definitely are a legend, and you are now a meme in these internet streets. So thank you so much for supporting the First Amendment. That's extremely important.
You're welcome.
Because in this day and time, the First Amendment is under attack. So now I got to ask you my question. This president has been attacking the First Amendment. Does that change whether or not you support him, assuming that you supported him in the past?
Believe it or not, I ran for president. I called it 2020 Fro. I ran for president. I said weed. I said weed. WEED shall overcome. I was running against him. I took a picture. You know, I'm a rapper and, you know, I'm a player. So it's all about publicity and running the numbers up and getting some more money. You know, I took a picture shaking his hand, but I was running against him. I don't, I don't support certain things I don't support certain things he do. I don't like all his moves against black people. I don't like reinstating all of these Confederate situations. I got my, all his anti-black issues I got a problem with. I'll stand with him on getting the bathroom right. You know what I'm saying? This, that. But it's like this right here. Like, I was running for president for me. You know, I'm a politician. You know, that's the politically correct white word. But I'm a player, so I'm trying to make money and make deals with everybody. You know what I'm saying? A player ain't got no enemies. We go all make some money. You know, okay, all right. Now, so I'm Afroman. I'm the blackest man in the world. You know, my name is my race, so I'm against all anti-blackness. You know, I love you, but I love myself too. You know what I'm saying? So if you love me back, you wouldn't be doing nothing that'll hurt me or give me the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're supposed to love your neighbor like yourself and all that type of stuff. So I hope I'm not drifting away from the question. But I'm not with, what's the original question? I had a little medicine before the show. I make sure I'm staying on point.
The original question was, do you support Donald Trump?
Right now, I never liked his anti-blackness. I shook his, whatever. I took a picture. Like I said, I'm a player. But I'm all about getting money. So
did you vote for him?
No. The reason why I didn't vote for him is because, I should be a Republican because I make money. I make big money.
I know some rich ass Democrats.
But listen to me. He wanted to give police officers 100% immunity. That was my deal breaker with him. Before I can get my big Republican tax break, I need my black life. I can't get my tax break if I don't have my black life. And if he give police officers like them 7 people that was trying to sue me 100% immunity, I'm not going to have my black life. So the police officers was the deal breaker with me and Donald Trump because I'm a black man in America.
All right, then. And matter of fact, somebody actually sent me a text and they wanted me to ask the question. Rebecca already asked it. I just got 2 more questions for you. One, Fat Joe said yesterday's price ain't today's price. So since all this went down, has your performance fee increased?
And you know why, yeah. Hey.
Yes, I would assume today's price is not the same as...
Oh, man. Sky, baby. Prices is going up. Hey, the economy's doing good. God bless America. Hey, man. The American dream. I am the American dream. I am somebody, Jesse Jackson. Rest in peace. Amen.
All right, so my last question. Miss Patti LaBelle made a lot of money with her patty pies. Are we going to see a line of Afroman lemon pound cake?
I'm trying to do it. Hey, help me do it, brother, because I can't, I want my name, I want my brand, but I can't cook them. I can't, that's a perishable product, so I got to figure out how to pull that off. But I do want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because
y'all find somebody that'll help me pull it off. I'm all about it.
I mean, listen, there are folk out there that they do that, and people are watching because, again, my man was on that stand, and it was killing him, they say. So, and then and they kept showing him looking at that pound cake. And you know, for the rest of his life, when he pisses somebody off, they're going to call his ass pound cake.
Hey, even if they're happy with him, he's still pound cake. The other sheriffs, if you listen to his testimony, he was mad because look here, he's an Ohio sheriff. Now, he's an Adams County, Ohio sheriff, but he's an Ohio sheriff. The sheriff is the same all over Ohio. All the other Ohio sheriffs pick on him. They know him. He's like this funny cartoon guy that hey, Officer Pound Cake.
Yeah, drop the lower third so we can see the pound cake. That's right, boy. He was eyeing that boy. He wanted it, and I'm so and just so you know, I'm so mad. I just finished. I went to the dentist before my show, and I did have Daisy's lemon pound cake. I did. I couldn't eat anything hard, and so I needed something soft to eat. Y'all think I'm lying? I'm not lying. I literally came. I came from the dentist straight here, and that's the only thing I could eat. And so I did have a piece of lemon pound cake. So if you're somebody out there, if you're in the food business, and
yes,
they got frozen food, I'm telling you, Afroman lemon pound cake should be packaged and ready for Thanksgiving orders.
I'm looking for a lemon pound cake deal. Hey, I want a cake company just to give me a check and put my label on the cake and let's go. Hey, let's go. Lemon pound cake. Let's do it.
All right, Afroman first. And again, I know people, and Rebecca alluded to this. Folk, I know we're having fun joking, but I need to remind people, and I told you this yesterday, Luther Campbell took a case to the Supreme Court and won. And Luther Campbell wrote it in his book. He was actually a little hurt because Michael Jackson and his lawyers filed an amicus brief against Luther Campbell's case. He took it to the United States Supreme Court and won. That Luther Campbell case, among others, allows for artists to make parody songs and not be sued. So clearly, these folks didn't read the damn law when it came to parody songs that can be made. So this absolutely was a First Amendment case, and this will go down.
Yes, sir.
And this will, and people, that folks watching and listening, I'm not joking about this here. This is going to be this case will go down, and when they talk about legal cases, as it relates to music, parodies, and the First Amendment. So we had lots of fun with it, but this is a real case that had legal ramifications, and that's why you won. So Afroman, congratulations with that. I do got to ask, you only got one suit, so were you cleaning that suit before trial every day?
Yeah. I was coming home, washing it, hanging it on the back of the chair, had the ironing board ready to go, man. Same old suit, just reheated. Amen. Rest in peace.
All right, well, you definitely got to get you a few more there. So, yeah, I think that will now be your official uniform. So if Frankie Beverly Mays wore white, you're going to be wearing that U.S. flag suit, tie, and shades, and you're going to have to get them damn socks. What color are your shoes?
Man, I'm going to try to show you what. Hang on, I'm a big boy. Give me a minute. Oh, baby.
Because I'm looking.
Hey,
damn, you got the flag. I knew it.
Man.
Oh,
I'm going to get down with the get down, brother.
All right, then. All right, well, you're there in Ohio, so you should be hooking up with Dave Chappelle.
All right, give me his phone number. I know he up around Dayton. Like some of your people that helped me get on the computer. You got some Dayton people up in there.
All right, well, I'm gonna send Dave a text message for you. So my producer will send me your number, and then I'll connect Dave. But listen, I'm telling you, I had way too much fun playing clips from this trial on yesterday's show.
Please continue to do so. Put them in rotation every now and then if you get dull or boring. Play one of my clips, man. Help me out. Keep it circulating, man. Keep it going.
All right, Afroman, thanks a lot. Take care.
Yes, sir, brother.
Appreciate it. I told y'all this is the blackest show on television. I keep telling y'all that. Don't get no blacker than this. This how we do. Oh, look, the Afroman say something? What did he say? He's pulling back up. Did he say something? What'd you say that? Oh, God. I'm telling you, it's the blackest show, bro. It's how we do it. All right, y'all. Let me go to a break. Matter of fact, let's go right to Black Star Network headlines with Brittany Noble.
A recent ruling by the Alabama Supreme Court is raising serious concerns about the extent of police officers' authority during investigations. This ruling follows the case of Michael Jennings, a black pastor who was wrongfully arrested in 2022. Jennings was watering his neighbor's flowers when officers approached him in response to a 911 call that reported a young black male outside some homes. Jennings identified himself and explained that his neighbors had asked him to water their plants while they were away. But when he refused to show his ID, the officers arrested him. He was charged with obstructing a government operation, but that charge was later dismissed. Jennings subsequently sued the city and the officers for false arrest, but the federal judge dismissed the lawsuit. The Alabama Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that police officers can demand to see physical identification during a stop if they are not satisfied with the individual's verbal responses. Pennsylvania Congresswoman Summer Lee filed articles of impeachment against Attorney General Pam Bondi. This action comes after growing concerns about how the Justice Department is managing the release of FBI files related to child sex abuser Jeffrey Epstein. The resolution introduced by Lee accuses Bondi of high crimes and misdemeanors. The alleged offenses include defying a subpoena from the House Oversight Committee to release the full Epstein files, violating the Epstein File Transparency Act. In July of 2025, Lee filed a motion to compel the Department of Justice to release the complete and unredacted Epstein files, a process that has been ongoing since August of 2025. Additionally, in January of 2026, she introduced an amendment to hold Bondi in civil contempt for her noncompliance with the Oversight Committee subpoena to release these files. Your airport could get shut down if Congress doesn't agree on funding for Department of Homeland Security. Transportation Secretary administration officers missed their first full paycheck last week, and security lines at some airports stretched well outside the terminals at some facilities. At security, employees called out to seek other sources of income. Acting Deputy TSA Administrator Adam Stahl says that if the situation does not improve, some smaller airports may be forced to shut down. The partial government shutdown primarily affects funding for DHS, which houses the TSA. The partial government shutdown has forced 50,000 TSA airport security officers to work without pay for the last month, and 10% of them did not show up for work on March 15th. TSA officers said that they have been struggling to make ends meet after their first missed paycheck. A statue of a slave owner will be displayed in Washington, D.C. for America's 250th birthday, but for the past 6 years, a towering bronze statue of Caesar Rodney, a signer of the Declaration of Independence and slave owner, has been gathering dust in storage at a Delaware warehouse. Well, soon the statue of Rodney astride his horse, removed from public view during the 2020 racial justice protests, will be brought to the nation's capital and displayed on an outdoor concourse between the White House and the U.S. Capitol. The National Park Service plans to install the Rodney statue temporarily in Freedom Plaza. That's a federal park downtown renamed to honor Martin Luther King Jr. An Interior Department spokesperson says as we approach America's 250th anniversary, the Trump administration has been committed to celebrating and acknowledging the full breadth of our nation's history. Rodney owned a plantation with more than 200 slaves. After a 6-year-long legal battle with Harvard University in Boston, Tamar Lanier wins ownership of 2 of the earliest known photographs of enslaved people in the United States. The images taken in 1850 depict an enslaved man named Brenty Taylor and his daughter Delia. They were originally commissioned by Harvard biologist Louis Agassiz and were part of a research project rooted in racist pseudoscience that attempted to promote theories of Black inferiority. For decades, the portraits remained in Harvard's possession and were widely reproduced in academic settings. But Lanier says that she was in the direct descendant line of Brenty and Delia and challenged the university's ownership in court, arguing that the images were taken without consent and belonged to the family. Morehouse School of Medicine has received a lofty check from the federal government all thanks to one Georgia congresswoman. U.S. Representative Nikema Williams secured nearly $1 million, $950,000 to be exact, to help the medical school construct a new academic and research building. The money stemmed from the 2023 community project funding. Williams, who represents Georgia's 5th congressional district, also noted that the federal funding will aid the medical school's expansion of biomedical research and workforce development. Morehouse School of Medicine is the only historically Black medical school in Atlanta. Although no longer affiliated with Morehouse College, the school continues to educate a diverse population of medical students. And according to the Princeton Review, roughly 80% of its student body identifies as Black.
All right, Brittany, we appreciate it, folks. Don't forget, watch the Breakdown with Brittany Noble every day, noon Eastern, right here on the Black Star Network. Again, the Breakdown with Brittany Noble, noon Eastern, every day. All right, folks, remember we had the Black woman from Texas on who got stopped by a cop in Hurst, Texas? Well, they've now released the Bodycam video. They, of course, accusing him of using excessive force during her arrest. And so we showed you the video that she captured in her car. Now, here is the video that's actually from the police officer. Roll it.
Hi there. I'm Corporal Morgan with the Hurst Police Department. Reason why you're getting stopped, you were just driving through a school zone going 40. It's a 25 through there. Do you have your driver's license, proof of insurance with you today? Where y'all heading to this afternoon?
Home.
Coming from?
Why?
Just a question.
None of your business.
I'm sorry?
It's none of your business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It is.
Okay. Do you have your insurance?
I'm showing you that.
Any reason for the hurry this afternoon?
I wasn't in a hurry. I didn't even see a school zone.
Oh, there's a flashing signal as you were driving through, directly on the side of the roadway. Can I see your phone? That's good till March. Let me go check on your license. I'll be right back with you. Y'all just stay in the car for me. Okay, Tanisha, you'll be receiving a citation today for the speed. I just need to get a signature from you. This is not an admission of guilt.
I'm not.
It's a promise. You're not going to sign it?
No, I'm not.
That's fine. I'll just put refuse. I need to get the VIN number on the car real quick. I'll enter that. I'll print you your copy and send you on your way. Where's your registration sticker on the car?
I just bought this car, so I'm waiting for it.
Okay.
Any more questions?
I'm just asking.
Okay. I told
Do you have your bill of sale with the car then?
you. No, I don't.
Okay, you should probably carry that with you if you're not going to display your registration sticker.
Well, I wasn't told that, so you might need to get updated on the laws.
All right, give me just a second. All right, here's your copy of the citation. As far as the bills, you don't want to take it?
No.
Well, it's going to take it because it's your citation. That's your citation. That's littering. Step out of the car. Citation. That's littering. Step out of the car.
Don't
Yes,
do
ma'am.
that.
Yes, ma'am.
Off my
Step
car.
out.
I'm not stepping
Step
out.
out. 6'9", 163.
Yes.
Step out.
I'm not.
Step out. Step out.
Don't touch
Step
me.
out.
Don't touch me.
Step it out.
I'm not stepping
Step
out
out.
of shit. Call
Step
your
out.
motherfucking supervisor.
I am the supervisor.
You're not the supervisor.
Yes, I am.
Call your
I am the
supervisor.
corporal.
A
Step
supervisor.
out.
I'm not
Step
stepping
out.
out of nothing. Get
Step
your
out.
fucking hand off me. Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me. I will step out when the supervisor.
I am
I'm
the
not stepping
supervisor.
out of nothing.
Ma'am.
Get your hand off me.
Tanisha.
Get your hand
I'm not
off
letting
me.
go.
You littered. You
I
dropped
am
the
not.
ticket, not me.
I put the ticket in the car
you dropped the
because
ticket,
that's your
not
copy.
me. You dropped the ticket, not me. Get your hands off me.
Take the ticket
you're
and
touching
go.
Me. Give me the ticket. You're touching me forcibly. You're holding me
Because
too tight, and you're being out of line.
you are resisting.
Y'all see this, right?
Sir, I'm sorry.
Stop.
Can she just get the ticket?
No, you stop.
Stop.
Why are you holding my arm like
Because
this?
I gave you the
Why?
ticket,
No, you
then
did
you
not.
proceeded to throw
dropped
it.
the ticket,
I
not
put it
me.
in your car,
I told you I did
and
not
you
want
proceeded
it.
to throw it out of the
dropped it.
car.
You dropped it. You're doing too much. I'm not afraid of you. Get
That's
your hand
fine,
off of
but
me.
I've asked you
You're
to step
holding
out of
me
the car.
forcibly for no reason.
Because you need to step
Get
out
your
of the
fucking
car.
hands off
Step
me.
out of the car.
No, what am I stepping out of the car
Is there
for?
anything I can do to get you to comply?
Look, Mom, he just said take the
To
ticket.
comply.
You threw the car out of the car.
No, I did not. You did that.
He said
You
take
threw
the
the
ticket
ticket at me.
I gave it to you so you
threw
could
the
leave,
ticket at
and then
me.
you grabbed it
Okay,
and threw it out.
give me the
It's on
ticket.
your phone video.
Give me the ticket.
It's no,
Give
we're
me the
we're
ticket.
past that.
Okay.
You're under arrest. Step
For
out of the
what?
car, littering.
Okay.
Step out of the car.
No, I'm not.
You are under arrest.
No, when the
Yes, ma'am.
When your colonel gets
No,
here,
we are
then
beyond
I will
that.
Step out.
Step
I'm
out.
not getting out of the car. I'm with my child, and I'm not
I
doing
understand
that.
you're with
Call
your child.
father right now.
Step out of the car.
I'm not.
Step out of the car.
I'll step out when another officer gets here. I'm not
Step
stepping
out.
I don't trust you. You're holding me too strong.
Because
and I don't trust you.
I don't trust
you.
you to
don't have
not
to hold
leave.
me like I'm not going anywhere. Where am I going to
I
go?
will stop holding
I'm not
you if
gonna
you
go
step out of the
anywhere.
car.
I'm not stepping out of the car.
You need to
Call
step
your
out of the
colonel
car.
And I will get out of the car.
This is resisting
You're holding
arrest.
Me. I'm not resisting arrest.
Because you're not
what
answering
am I
my
under
order.
arrest For?
Littering.
What am I under arrest for? I didn't litter.
You
did
threw the
that.
ticket out
no,
the
I did not.
window.
You did that. You did that. It's all on camera.
You're
so
correct.
when your colonel gets here, then I will step out. I have my child with me.
I am the
I'm not
corporal.
getting out of. You have a supervisor. Okay.
I am the supervisor
so when
on
your
duty.
supervisor gets here,
He
then
is
I
not.
will step
I am
out
the
of the
highest
car.
ranking
Call
supervisor.
someone else
I don't
to
have
come
anyone
here.
else.
There is someone else.
Not right now.
There is someone
You
else.
need to
Let me
step
call
out of the car.
911.
Stop.
Get your
Stop.
phone.
Please, sir, stop.
Get out.
Wait, stop, Mom, chill out,
Get
Mom.
out.
Wait, stop, sir, please stop.
Stop. Get out.
Stop, please stop.
Stop.
Wait, stop.
Get out, man.
Stop, please. Wait, stop.
All right. Let me get the opinion of my two panelists before I weigh in. Rebecca, you first.
Those are always very difficult to watch. There's a lot there. I also know that my parents let me know, like, if we get pulled over, you don't talk, you don't speak. I'm not saying that to blame the woman's child here, but I do think it's important for people to understand this is America, and you have to teach, if you are Black in this country, you have to teach your entire household of what it looks like and what experiences are with interacting with the police, and make sure that everybody inside your house is on code. These things are very difficult to watch. And yes, there's all sorts of people who could say, oh, well, she had attitude, or she did this, or she did that. The bottom line is white people in this country don't get arrested for littering. So even if that is the underlining supposed charge, you don't get arrested for that. That's a citation at most.
Winnacone?
I, like Rebecca, feel very challenged by the clip. Obviously, my heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to her young son that had to witness his mother being manhandled. But I lean back to what Rebecca said about being taught how to interact with the police. And it's a shame that we do have to be taught how to interact with the police, oftentimes at a young age as a Black person in this country. But I felt very nervous and scared for the woman, Tanisha, throughout the entire interaction, because she broke almost every rule that I had been taught in interacting with the police. And I'm not to say that those rules are right or wrong, but what those rules were conveyed to me were to keep me alive and safe through the encounter. We already know that the criminal justice system in this country is not made for us. It's not made for us. It's not fair. It's not judicious, right? So let's start by saying that and getting that out the way. Number two, this is Texas, okay? And I'm not going to say too much more about it. Roland, I know you're from Texas, and everybody else watching knows what that means. This is Texas. So I think we need to be very, very particular in how we conduct ourselves should we want to survive the encounter. Should we have to? No, we should not have to. We should not have to behave in a way that's different from white people when they're pulled over. But do we have to? Yes. I was very nervous because had the police officer chosen, he could have taken this into a different way. We've seen countless videos in which the ending that this video had was not the ending, right? The ending could have been with death. The ending could have been with trauma, more trauma, additional trauma for that young man. And so, I mean, honestly, it's a heinous situation for everyone involved, right? I'm not advocating that Black people should have to yes sir, no sir, but unfortunately, that's the reality in this country with cops.
All right, so let me weigh in. We have run numerous these videos. We've run them a number of times. We have broken these videos down. We have analyzed the video from the perspective of the police officer, from the driver, from all these different videos. And as I was watching the video the entire time, because this was the dash cam video, I wanted to see his demeanor. I wanted to listen to his demeanor. I'm studying all of that. And I'm just gonna say it. She was dead ass wrong. She was dead ass wrong. Follow what I'm saying. You can be perturbed and upset, but do you have to give attitude? Now, I'm watching the whole thing, and I'm watching how stuff was answered. She told him he needs to check the law when it came to the stickers. No, come on. The sticker is on the windshield. Like, we all know the law. It was that back and forth. But then when he comes, and I'm listening, when he brings the ticket back, and he says, this is not a admission of guilt. She refuses it. Y'all, you take the ticket. Take the ticket. Then because she wouldn't take it, he tosses it to the car. She tosses it back out. That's all unnecessary. Now, he says she littered. That's actually not an arrestable offense. What he should have done was, ma'am, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to take the ticket. But if you don't take the ticket, I'm gonna give you another ticket for littering. All right? So he immediately went to get out of the car. Here's the thing in Texas. When a lawful command is given, you have to obey. Remember the Sandra Bland video? Remember what happened there? Okay? When she was smoking and he told her to put it out and she was like, I don't have to. She didn't. When he gave her the command and she said no, that's when he tried to open the door. It was lawful command. Happened there. Should not have happened. He should not have taken it there. But what I don't understand is, why the attitude? And then you hear her son, Mom, chill, Mom, chill. When you are an adult and you got kids in the car, you got to factor that in. So I was sitting here watching like, babe, just take the ticket. Take the ticket, move on. Fight it, do whatever, but we also cannot escalate a situation. I know that if I get pulled over, okay, so I've always said on this show, cops should de-escalate. But I also don't want to escalate. And so how I behave is also important. How you behave is not a legal issue, but how you behave also impacts what is happening in that particular moment. I'm listening to his tone. I did not hear a hyper-aggressive cop like we've seen before. And I was sitting here like, why we got the attitude? Why we upset? Why we like just sit there? And I got pulled over in Hurst before. In fact, when I went to go work at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, it's called, first of all, it's called HEB. It's Hurst, Euless, Bedford. It's 3 cities that are right next to each other. It's called HEB. I remember getting pulled over. Cop said legal lane change. And when he asked for my ID, I gave him my ID. I also gave him my Texas Department of Public Safety press pass. I ain't get a ticket. Now, I was on the phone. He was talking. I was actually laughing because I thought it was hilarious that he was pulling me over for a so-called illegal lane change. But what I'm saying is, y'all, we also should not escalate stuff. Yo, chill. Take the ticket. They hand you the ticket. He said, ma'am, this is not an admission of guilt. I've gotten that story numerous times as well. Take the ticket, sit it down. I'm going on about my way. Now we ain't got no drama. So I'm going to, y'all know what I say. If you do good, I'm gonna talk about you. If you do bad, I'm gonna talk about you. In the day, I'm gonna talk about you. And I just don't understand why she took it there. I just don't. I get being pissed off, but she says, well, I didn't see it. We all been there. We all have said, I didn't see the red light, I didn't see the stop sign, I didn't see this. Yo, take the ticket and move on. But you don't, and especially with your 15-year-old child's in the car, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take it there. But I will listen to the cop. Littering is not an arrestable offense. Hit her with a ticket. And then you know what? If she throw both tickets out of the window, give her another ticket. But I just don't, I'm not going to defend everything. I had a problem with the attitude. Anything else from y'all?
Look, attitude doesn't equal an arrest either. And so
I agree.
I'm just gonna say this out here, like, look, people have a bad day and sometimes people are triggered. And I'm not going to second guess a Black person in this country if they get triggered by the presence of law enforcement.
I'm going to second guess a Black person being triggered if you have your son in your car and if that situation further escalates that could put your son or daughter in danger. My response. I mean, when I've raised 9 nieces, I've raised 6 of my nieces. If my nieces are in the car with me and I get arrested, my objective is to get my nieces home, no matter how pissed off I am, because I got a basic ticket. And I've gotten speeding tickets. But what I'm not going to do is, I'm going to just take the ticket. I'm not going to throw it out the window. I'm not.
Look, when people are in trauma, and when people are in the middle of trauma, their brain isn't online. Like that's literally the definition of being triggered, right? It's not just a catchphrase, it's an actual thing where your frontal lobe is deactivated and it's not turned on. And in my opinion, that's what we saw here. What's unfortunate is that there are situations where you could do all the right things, wear the right clothes, speak the right things, and you could be sedate and demure and all those things, and they could still go left. One thing that I will say that law enforcement officers do have a heightened responsibility, like you mentioned, to de-escalate. Some of them are professional and do so, and some of them are not. In this situation, it's very unfortunate.
Well, I was watching, listen, I was watching both of them, and I was listening. I was assessing everything. I was assessing tone. I was assessing how he got out of the car. Did he approach the car in an aggressive manner? All of those particular things. But even when he came back with a ticket, I'm listening to it, and I'm not hearing aggressive. And I'm sitting there going, take the ticket. Take the ticket. Because when she was on the show, she was like, well, y'all didn't see what happened before. Well, I just saw it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I actually appreciate seeing the body cam footage in its entirety because I think context helps. I'm of 2 minds on this. What Rebecca said is true, right? When people are triggered and traumatized, ain't no telling how they're gonna act. But Roland, you're right in saying when we have minors in the car, the number one priority is to get home alive. That's my hope in any Black person's interaction with a police officer. Get home alive. A ticket, we can fight that in court. What we can't fight is a bullet entering your body. And I think baseline, Black people have to understand that. We can contest about the litter in court. We'll have our day in court. We can't contest it if you're bleeding out on the street, right? So I think that we really have to be mindful of the fact that, yes, there is a target on our back as a Black person in America. We're not here to rewrite history.
I mean, listen, the whole thing about the sticker, first of all, let me be real clear. Not displaying a sticker, that also could have gotten ticket. I was pulling up to Dulles Airport. I get out to check in my bag. I'm trying to catch a flight. I check it in up top, and I'm about to go driving to valet. Black cop stops me. I don't see your sticker. And I was like, damn, I got the one Black person who don't listen to Tom Jones Morning Show or watch TV One. But he stopped. I was like,
Roland, he might have known who you were.
I was like, no, he ain't know. Other cops, I remember I made a quick lane change in D.C., and the cop hit the light. Yo, he went, oh, damn, Ro. He said, slow down making that lane switch. No, this cop didn't know who the hell I was. And the bottom line is, I got a ticket. Was I pissed? Yeah. Was I trying to catch a flight? Yeah. But I took the damn ticket. I didn't make a big deal out of it because I didn't have the sticker. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that I am not going, and again, I'm listening to the cop. This is what I hear. I really hear him at a 3, not progressively hear her go from a 4 to a 5 to a 6, okay? But even when she was at an 8, I'm still hearing him right here. I was like, I'm watching it going, just take the ticket. It's not an admission of guilt. Just take the ticket. That's when you say, appreciate it. You could give him attitude taking the ticket. I'm just saying that I just didn't understand, no, I ain't taking it. And he throws it in and she throws it back out. I just don't, that made no sense to me. I don't get it. I'm saying I'm not gonna escalate it. I know what I'm gonna do. Now, if you the cop, if your ass escalate, and in fact, this is actually how I think. I'm gonna let you escalate. I ain't escalating. And even in that point, her son is saying, Mom, chill, just take the ticket. Yo, she is just gone. I'm sorry. In that moment, I gotta be thinking about him. And I don't want this man to do nothing to impact him. And that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, folk, if you get a ticket, just take the ticket. It's a ticket. I pay them shits online. All right, that's $35. All right, that's $80. What I'm not gonna do is potentially get a bullet over a pookie butt ass ticket. I'm just not. So disagree with me that's fine, but that's just me. All right, y'all. Last night, shout out, Prairie View. Y'all gonna have to send me some gear. I done been to Prairie View so many times, they ain't sent me no gear. Last night, first of all, 3 HBCUs have made March Madness, y'all. 3, Prairie View, Howard University, Tennessee State, okay? And last night, Prairie View won their game. Oh, folks thought they were gonna lose. No, PV won last night. And remember, they upset Southern in the SWAC championship to make it into the tournament. So they won last night. Howard plays tonight. Let me check. Are they playing? Is the game on? Do y'all have?
It's on. It started at 7.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Let's see here. So Howard is right now with 3:23. Don't go. Yeah, you can go to my iPad. We're not showing video, so we weren't breaking any of the rules. 3:23 left in the first half. Howard's down by 6. They're playing Michigan. Howard is a 16 seed. Michigan is a 1 seed. And so that game is going on right now. Not sure when. Let me go ahead and click this right here. Let me see when Tennessee State is playing. Tennessee State, I'm looking. Not sure which bracket they're in. So allow me to, let's see. Oh, here we go. Tomorrow, 2:50 p.m., Tennessee State is going to play Iowa State. Tennessee State is a 15 seed. Iowa is a 2 seed. So big congratulations to the Prairie View A&M Panthers for winning their first round game. And in fact, they beat Lehigh. Here's the go. This is the box score of that game. Prairie View beat Lehigh 67-55. And let me see here, because that was the first 4. And Prairie View now, let's see who they're going to play next. I'm looking. Oh, they're going to play Florida tomorrow. So Tennessee State plays tomorrow at 2:50 p.m. Eastern, and Prairie View plays at 9:25 at p.m. Eastern tomorrow. So again, big ups to Prairie View and good luck to the Howard Bison and Tennessee State Tigers. All right, y'all, that is it for us. Win Cooney, thanks a bunch. Rebecca, thanks a bunch. I appreciate it. Folks, that's it for us. If you want to, of course, support the work that we do, join our Bring the Funk fan club. You can, of course, contribute via Cash App. Use the Stripe QR code. You see it right here. As for also credit cards as well. Checks and money order. Make it payable to Roland Martin Unfiltered. P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 2003 7-0196. PayPal's R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo's RM Unfiltered. Zelle. Roland at RolandSMartin.com. Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Download the Black Star Network app. Apple phone, Android phone, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Samsung Smart TV. Be sure to get our Roland Martin Unfiltered Black Star Network swag by going to shopblackstarnetwork.com. Our t-shirts, our hoodies, our wall art mugs, all that good stuff. And, of course, our black-owned products. All these products right here, folks, that you see are available on our site, shopblackstarnetwork.com. And so you can check it all out. Go to the website. You got HBCU gear. You got, of course, facial stuff. You got chips, and we got bags and dolls and toilet paper. All of these black-owned products, you can get them at shopblackstarnetwork.com. So when you buy these products through our website, you also supporting this show as well. So black-owned, black companies helping black-owned media. So go to shopblackstarnetwork.com. Send it around. Tell your friends and family to go there as well. Be sure to also download the app fan base. Follow me at Roland S. Martin. Be sure to get that. Also, remember, Brittany Noble, you can check her out on The Breakdown. Brittany Noble every day, noon Eastern, right here on the Black Star Network. And coming up next, Second Opinion with Dr. Ebony Jade Hilton, right here on the Black Star Network as well. Folks, that's it. I'll see y'all tomorrow, right here. Roland Martin Unfiltered.